Hey guys, MH63 here from Not So Daily Gaming, and we're back with another video, finally, after a little hiatus. Just needed a little break. And now we're landing in Portland, Maine. It has a nice airport, and just got back doing a flight from Canada, just somewhere in Canada. And figured I would record my landing and see how it goes. This is, again, I've been on a hiatus from Flightgear and flight simulators in general for quite a while, but figured I'd get back into it. So we'll see how well I do landing wise. I'm definitely we'll see what happens. So yeah, I'm coming in here, and we're about 4,000 feet, and we're about 5 miles out from our first checkpoint. Ideally, I know that, especially, let's see here, with this, I know for sure that it should be capable of doing it 100%, autonomously with this, but I figured that I might as well give it a shot myself, just do it in total manual control over everything, simply because, why not give myself some practice? So that's what we're going to do. So here we're coming on, and we're going to start turning here, and it'll get me lined up, and then from there I will go ahead and take over control. I'll probably take over control once we get over this waypoint here, because it'll keep us on path and everything, and we'll just have it follow. So we'll have it do approach, but then I'm gonna cancel it. Actually, no. You know what? I'm changing that. We're gonna do this thing fully manual, man. I think that's the way to do it. So let's get down. Let's get down to 3,000, and we'll have it do that flight level change. Simply because, and then we'll have it start decelerating. Let's put some flaps down. There we go. We want it to get to about 200, not too shabby. And it will do that, and we'll see if we have everything. I'm not quite seeing the runway in sight yet, but I think that might be it off in the distance there. Hard to see though. We'll be able to tell. And it wants us quite significantly lower than we are, so we're going to put down some more flaps, and hopefully that'll help increase our descent rate. I think that might be the airport right there. Yep, I have it in sight. We're rather high and rather fast, but I think that's okay. And we'll actually turn on approach here, and it should start having us get there. We're going to want to be 80, and it's going to hopefully do everything for us. Although I'm going to take it off that, do flight level change down to that level. Yeah, okay, so at this point we're going to go like that, and see what happens. We're going to go all the way down on throttle. What is it complaining about? Oh my goodness. Okay, we are definitely over speed, but caught it just in time. We're not over speed. We're gonna go ahead and put on our auto spoilers. We're gonna be coming in pretty fast. We're gonna go auto brake 4. Standing still, pretty good. Really quite fast. Let's put down. It's gonna complain that we are over speed, but we need to bleed off a lot of that speed rather quickly if we're gonna make this landing, which should be fine. It's not looking good. Actually, it is okay though, because we are headed over these buildings, and we don't want to disturb those individuals at work. I did have it just set at fair weather, just to keep it fair in the sense, or a little bit easier in the sense that I don't have to worry about weather demands. But let's see here, coming in, I'm just doing some S. So this is what you do, is called an S turn, and so basically what that means is that you're having to travel further, but it gives you more time to bleed off airspeed because we have plenty of it, and we are rather high, so we're just kind of bleeding off energy here, although we are still just fine and lined up. At this point, we're going to go and put down our landing gear. But we are actually have our rate of descent is rather high, so I'm going to increase throttle just a little bit as we're coming in, but we are still looking okay. There we go, almost on glide slope here. I'm going to pull up because I can tell we're coming in rather, our vertical speed is pretty high here, so I'm just trying to slow that down And I'm watching our airspeed. We're gonna need to increase that our throttle just a little bit here, just to make sure to keep us right there. We're looking pretty good though, pretty much on the center line. Alright. Alright, at this point I'm gonna cut throttle down to idle. Get our reversers ready, and we're gonna put this thing on the runway. We're coming really quite fast, vertical speed wise, but I think it'll be fine. Pull up here, do a flare, retard. There we go. I think we did it. Let's put on our reverse thrusters and full max power. We seriously need it. You can see that shaking as the auto brakes coming into play here. But we have it done there. So I'm going to go and actually we need to throttle down our auto brakes, our reverse thrusters. And it did overheat our brakes. But we'll go ahead and disarm our auto brakes there. And we just policy do have to wait on the runway. There should be some thing come behind us, but it actually looks like, okay, it wasn't that bad of an overheat. And that looked like pretty decent of a landing, especially if I haven't done one in quite a while. So we'll go and move up to taxi power here. We can bring up our flaps, and spoilers automatically went down, which is awesome. And we'll go ahead and take this runway cut off here. Come on, wide out. And then make a nice turn. That was a pretty decent landing for not having done it in a while, but you know what? I think we'll roll with it. So let's go ahead and take a look at that landing, and then I'm going to kind of grade myself and see how well I did. I'm actually not entirely confident that was spectacularly done, but yeah, I'm on the grass too. This is not one of my better times, but let's go ahead and taxi over to a gate and park there really quickly, and then we'll take a look. Not entirely sure this taxiway was entirely meant for planes of this size. Yeah, definitely not. But that's okay. We can roll with it. More than capable. Let's take a look. Okay, let's just kind of pull in here. We'll pull into one of these holding spots. I'm really hoping the next release of Flightgear, hopefully, I want these taxi line problems to be fixed, and I'm not entirely sure why they're happening, but they do, in terms of like realism-wise, they really do hurt the simulator, and it's really frustrating in my opinion. Just something I would love to see fixed, but go ahead and pull in here, and then we'll put on the brakes, and let's take a look at, if we do view, and do instant replay, and then we'll come in until I was like here.
Terrain.
Oh, whoa, okay.
Too low. Terrain.
Okay, here we go. So coming in, rather nice, and we'll kind of zoom out here. Looking pretty good, glide slope on, and we'll speed this up just a little bit. Coming in, just fine. Okay. A little curvy, here's where I do the S curves. Should have kept descending there, it was fine, I was a little high. Although my speed was rather, my vertical speed was really high here, you can really tell that I was rather steep glide slope, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, it's just that for passenger comfort, not entirely ideal. Okay, here we go. Let's slow this down back to 1 speed. And let's see what happens.
Too low. Terrain.
So I'm coming in, looking pretty good.
Too low. Sink rate.
Okay, I'm going to slow this down here. Half speed. Yeah, so you can tell this is the speed that I should be descending at. So you can tell I pull up here and flare too early, a little too much, but I think my landing generally, let's see here. In actuality, if we do that up to full speed, is actually not that bad. Let's go back here if we watch it. Yeah, so you see that I'm actually not putting a lot of force on those landing gear. If you're going to land like that, then that's the way to do it. I do have quite a bit of smoke there, and the other thing is that as I'm coming in here, you'll notice both my landing gear, back landing gear don't land at the same time, which is something that is not entirely good, and I'm also off center of the runway, although I do correct for that. Also, if you look up here at how many feet I have remaining, not entirely sure what it's doing there, I have a little bit too few. If you look at where I am on the runway, let's look at the tower view. If I can find the tower view. Okay, so here I am. So let's kind of go back here. Okay, so this control tower blocks my view spectacularly.
Terrain 30.
That should be fixed. But you'll see I'm not landing, still not landed, still not landed. Just there I land. Okay, so let's, can I pause that? Yes, pause. Let's go back and play. Right there. Okay. Now if we do tower, look from, I can see, there we go. Okay, so here's my plane, right? And then I only have that much runway, which in the contrast of the whole runway, so let's go back to helicopter, I should have landed, it's fine where I landed, but ideally you're landing as close to the end of the runway as possible. So in this area, I landed decently, but not quite. Generally, you want to do it by these 2 marks here, and we'll get into, hopefully I'll do another video on what all these runway markings mean, because they really can help your landing. Those 2 big ones are generally, that's the touchdown zone of a runway, and that's where you want to aim for, so I'm a little bit beyond that. But generally did okay, actually. Come down, and it handles everything correctly. So, you notice I also was a little late to engage my reverse thrusters. That was partially my fault, my keyboard. I wasn't remembering that, but just something to be aware of. So, let's go ahead and go back. You can kind of see, so there's the brakes having some trouble. Actually, let's go back, and I want to show you why that's happening. So, if we come back here, let's see if we can find it. Okay. Nope. Go back here. Okay, so you'll notice the brakes have a little overheating here, and that's simply because I didn't stop them in time. So auto brakes, the way they work is they stay engaged until you press the brakes yourself, at least in Flightgear. And so what I did is I stayed, I let them go on by themselves for simply way too long, and that's just something that had to happen. Oh, so looks like we're looping, and we're going to end the loop. And ideally, we should remain right back where we started. But yeah, so that's my analysis of my landing after being away on a hiatus for a couple months here. I think 3 months, which is pretty crazy. I've never done that before. But I think it was good to take a break. I'm reinvigorated with, looking forward to flight simulator stuff. And we'll go from there. So, thank you guys all very much for watching this video. You guys know what to do. If you want to like, go for it. Subscribe, awesome. If you don't like this video, let me know about it. Tell me why in the comments. That really helps me shape what these videos are about. If you have any more questions for me, I've tried to keep, even in my hiatus, answering those in the comments. So let me know if you have any of those. And thanks for watching. Take care, guys. Bye.